I just want to make one more point.
I think that's the first time you've ever said that, Praise. I got to admit, mate, that makes me feel good inside.
Oh, he left. Did he leave? Oh, he left. Oh, okay.
Wait, let me make a point.
Yeah, go.
Do you all use cell phones?
Yeah, so what?
Peter?
Oh,
all right,
the
people who invented cell phones used satellite technology to make them work. The people who make the satellites operate on a spherical model of the Earth. It's indisputable that satellite technology and cell phones could not work without.
Why would they still?
They orbit in space.
So okay, wait. Was that Sky who said that, or I'm gonna put it on you, bro? How many satellites are currently orbiting the Earth? Tell me right now. Go.
Wait, I'm just telling you. Here's the thing. That you're missing my point. You're missing my point. They made the cell phones work. They invented them, and they believe the Earth is a sphere, and that their technology operates on that model.
That's a very nice belief.
No, did you invent the cell phones? Do you know how it works? They did.
Well, it's not just. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, sorry, man.
It's called cell towers.
Okay,
have you heard of cell towers?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's not just cell phones. They also have the satellite internet. Basically, the internet that you bounce off satellites. I think Elon Musk came out with Sky something. It's a satellite internet. No. Come on, that's Terminator. It's a movie, mate. So basically, and I worked for an internet company, and part of my job when I worked there was actually getting the coordinates. We had 2 base stations in Australia, one at Broken Hill in New South Wales on the eastern side of the country, and one in Kalgoorlie in Western Australia on the western side of the country. And the reason why we used them is because they had very little cloud cover, because satellite internet's actually affected by clouds. If there's overcast clouds, it'll actually slow down and disrupt your internet. Now, we had to align and tell the technicians out at people's dishes, because you notice the dishes are pointed straight up. They're not pointed over here. They point straight up, right? So if you're sending a signal, why are the dishes pointed straight up into the air instead of at a tower?
All the ones I've seen are pointing at a tower.
Yeah, no, they're not.
They're more like at an angle, like 45-degree angle.
Yeah,
I see them
45.
pointing straight up.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
up.
It depends where they are, in relation to the satellite. Because part of my job was to configure that dish so they can move them, so they can get the satellite in geosynchronous orbit around the Earth.
Right. Mark, just to clarify, you are an atheist, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so let it be known to the panel and to the chat that we're getting knowledge from an atheist, which is the dumbest ideology in the world. Okay.
Well, it's a nice ad hominem, but
that is a clear genetic fallacy. I mean, are you going to?
I'm not sure how that's a genetic fallacy.
How many fallacies are you going to use? How many fallacies are you going to use? That's a genetic fallacy. Clear.
It's an ad hom. It's an ad hom.
Matter. Mark, how many satellites are orbiting the Earth right now?
I would have to guess. I think it's 1,100 or so. I think, but that's really just trying to dredge it up from my memory.
Genetic fallacy is worse than ad hom, because they are literally dismissing the truth of it because of its origin. Well, so an ad hom is just you are stupid, therefore what you're saying can't be true. But the genetic fallacy is dismissing anything you say is true just because you're an atheist.
Yeah, no. Genetic.
It's even worse.
No. Just let me respond to Eddie for a second.
Doesn't even exist.
Thanks,
he
Peter.
lives on the other side of the planet, on the bottom. I mean,
just let me address that. A genetic fallacy is when you say it came from this, therefore it must be the same thing. So if you say, hey, the reason why you're using the word gay, for instance, it means like happy because that's where the word came from. That's the genetic fallacy. If you're saying because of who you are, you shouldn't be believed, like if I say, I wouldn't trust Peter because he's not showing his face, for instance. He doesn't have a webcam. That's an ad hom.
Hold on. Peter made the CGI for NASA. You're looking at it.
Okay. Thanks.
Are you questioning me on fallacies? Come on, I'm the fallacy guy.
I'm sorry, did you say fallacy or phallic there? I didn't quite catch that.
Fallacy.
Is a
No,
fallacy,
seriously.
I'm joking,
guy
I'm sorry.
Someone who commits
No.
fallacies a lot.
A textbook genetic fallacy is as simple as dismissing something as true based on its origin. So if somebody says, like, well, you're a Christian because you grew up in the United States, that's a genetic fallacy. It doesn't address the truth of the statement. It's just dismissing it because of where you grew up. The same thing would be, he's saying, well, this is coming from an atheist, so just keep in mind that it's coming from an atheist. So it's an underhanded dismissing the truth of what you're saying because of your worldview.
Okay. Well, and so sorry, go ahead.
Go back,
my bad.
Mark,
I don't care. He's an atheist.
Yeah, cool. So how many satellites are orbiting the Earth?
I thought it was 1,100, but I could be wrong about that number. I must admit.
Okay, I just Googled it. It says as of September 1 of last year, it's 4,500 satellites orbiting the Earth.
Okay, so it's a lot more than I thought it was.
Okay, so the reason why I asked you that is
how many of them are operational, by the way?
How many are operating?
Yeah. So they reach the end of their lifetime and they shut down, but they don't actually drop from orbit. So how many of them are actually operational?
Okay, I don't know, but that has, I don't know, but that doesn't matter for this next question I'm going to ask as a follow-up, which is why is it that when you look at any live stream of the alleged ISS from the International Space Station,
how come I can see the ISS?
Don't even see not one satellite.
I have a question.
Earth.
Hold on. I have a question. How come I can see the ISS and I can take pictures of it? How come?
Iger.
Hey, what's up?
Okay, I don't know who asked that.
Can you show those pictures?
That was Peter.
That's me, Peter.
Can you show that picture?
Oh, there's two Peters now. Oh, that's great. Okay.
The one with the eagle on its arm.
Okay. So
the one with the
Peter the atheist has a capital P, so we'll call him Big Peter, and you've got a lowercase, so we'll call you Little Peter. Is that okay with you guys?
Small Peter and a big Peter.
So calling someone a little Peter is kind of discriminatory.
Oh, really? I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. I mean, we don't. Really? What's it supposed to mean?
Can you answer, Rebel? Can you answer my question? How come that I can see the ISS coming over me and take pictures of it?
Okay.
What am I seeing?
I'm going to call you Second Peter because you were the second Peter to join.
That works too. Yeah, absolutely. Second Peter and First Peter. Okay.
Okay. Whatever you're seeing, I obviously haven't stepped into your shoes to, visually observe what is going on through your eyes. But I can guarantee you, whatever you are seeing, it is not what is being alleged as.
I'm seeing a spaceship. I can take a picture of it. I'm seeing a spaceship. So what am I seeing?
Okay, let me just finish my answer. Whatever you are seeing is I guarantee you is not this alleged quote International Space Station.
I'm not asking what I'm not seeing. I'm asking what I am seeing.
All these other astronauts are like inside of it, like
Rebel.
Hey,
time out.
Second Peter, can you let it finish?
Yeah, Peter, just
I'm
let
not going to let him finish.
Why?
Explaining to me what I'm not seeing. I asked him what I am
just let him
seeing.
finish.
Let him finish, and then
my answer is
My
answer is I don't know what you're seeing. Okay,
that's
if you can just accept my answer saying I don't know, but here's the but part. What it's not is, the International Space Station where there's other.
If you don't know, how do you know what it's not?
And a bunch of other stuff. Because do you know how fast they say the International Space Station is orbiting the Earth?
I'm asking you a simple question. If you don't know, how do you know what it's not?
Miles.
What?
That's an easy question, right?
It's a U-2 spy plane, high altitude spy plane, and it's funny. What's funny, Second Peter, is that you can only see it when they advertise it. Not every 90 minutes that
they're not advertising. They're not advertising it. Can we get back to my question, please?
Rebel.
From something that you don't know, how do you know what it's not?
U-2 spy plane.
If you don't know.
Because I can falsify and rule something out doesn't mean I know what it is.
How did you rule it out?
Because the vacuum of space does not exist. So therefore, it's immediately thrown
well,
out.
it's a near vacuum.
That's a claim.
Yeah,
that's a claim.
Exist.
So how did you rule out that the vacuum of space doesn't exist?
Because the Earth can't have atmosphere existing next to the vacuum of space without a solid barrier.
That's another claim. You're good at claiming. So
that's not a claim, man.
That's not true.
Physics.
I'm really sorry, but that's not
true.
true.
Air pressure. That's how it works.
No. The gravity keeps it where it is. Gravity keeps it where it works.
Why don't you show them the video about what's called the people who were the guy who was asking that question about the vacuum with those physicists.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but
I'm just asking how can you explain how it can't work?
Because the necessary antecedent to have air pressure is that you need some sort of solid barrier or container. That's the only way we can get air pressure to work.
No, gravity provides the container. Gravity does it.
Why do you need a solid container?
Because the definition of pressure, of air pressure, are the molecules of the air itself, and how
being compressed. Yes.
Pressing up against.
So you have to have a closed.
It's the very definition.
You have to have a closed container. All the way closed, I mean.
So let me just ask a question. Peter, you've asked a ton of questions. I wanna ask a couple of questions, mate. No, you've asked a ton of questions. Okay, all right.
No, wait. I'm almost there. So how does water stay in the ocean because the container isn't closed at the top? How does water stay there?
The ice wall.
Hold on, wait. Have you ever?
There's an ice wall on top of the ocean.
Peter. Wait, second Peter, you said container at the top. Have you ever poured yourself a cup of water? There's no container at the top. It's only on the sides.
Yeah. So if I pour a cup of coffee, let's say I pour half a cup of coffee. So I have coffee at the bottom and I have air at the top. How does the air stay in the cup? Because the container isn't closed, right?
So it's equalizing with the air around the cup. What do you mean? How does it doesn't stay in the cup?
It doesn't stay in the cup.
That's what steam is.
Okay.
Peter, the steam is the air.
Steam isn't air. Steam isn't air.
Okay,
I was asking about air.
So you know all about equalization, is that right? So you know about equalization.
It's not air.
Yeah, it's very very simple.
Right. So equalization. So without a container, air at different pressures will equalize and become the same pressure. Is that correct?
No, because if you have a lighter, you can see how there's liquid gas in your lighter, and there's still gas
not air.
in the lighter itself. So that's not
air.
You can literally see it because you can buy a lighter in the store, and you put all the liquid in one side.
That's a liquid.
And the half where the straw reaches to the bottom, it's all just gas, and there is no liquid in that half.
So in the lighter, yeah, you made a couple of statements there. In the lighter, you've got liquid and you've got gas in there. So it doesn't equalize because you have two things of different mass in there. That's not the same as saying, well, if there is air pressure is low in one area, and it's so you're saying that because the air pressure is high around the Earth and it's low in space, you need a container to stop those air pressures equalizing. Is that correct?
Precisely.
Precisely.
For being sucked off into the infinite vacuum of space.
Right. So that's what you're saying. So that leads me to ask, so if you have high pressure in one area and low pressure in another, you need some kind of physical barrier to stop it equalizing. Is that correct?
There's pressure gradients within the Earth, especially amongst altitude. We know that.
Right. So why doesn't the air equalize? Because there is no physical barrier going up in altitude where the air is very high pressured at the sea level and then going up to very low pressure high up. Why doesn't it equalize?
That's just how it works on the grand scale of the Earth.
That's not an answer.
Well, as the sun travels through the water, it makes some of the water vapors. When the moon comes, it cools it off. So that's, there's other things at play. It's not just there's this electromagnetic thing that's going on.
I didn't understand any of that. You said the sun makes water vapor that's it interacts with the moon. I have no idea what you said.
Well, the
but really, what I want to get back to, just before you
continue,
continue, what I want to get back to is that you said to me directly that if you have an area of low pressure and an area of high pressure, and you do not have a physical barrier in between, those areas should equalize and become the same pressure. You all agreed on that. And then when I say, hey, there is a gradient with a low pressure near sea level and a high pressure near sea level and a low pressure high up, you said you don't seem to have an answer of why it doesn't equalize. Now,
no, that phenomenon is more based on a local level, but because the Earth is relatively much larger than, say, like the pressure in a Coke can or in the pressure of your car tire, that's the reason why you get a gradient. Because a tire and a Coke can is not the size of the Earth. It's infinitely it's exponentially times bigger.
Well, you're getting to it.
You can't really extrapolate those two.
Yeah, you're getting to it. So larger in size, and this is what sort of mainstream physics says, that the larger something is of size, or really, actually, to be more precise, the more mass it has. So the heavier it is, kind of thing, the more mass it has, the larger the gravitational force exerted on it. So what happens is basically it pulls down on all those gases, and they form pressure at the bottom. But because the pressure is pushing back up, when it tries to be compressed, it sort of pushes back up. It sort of pushes up further and further. So it basically squishes it down while the bottom gets very, very squished. And the top has this air that's sort of, being held there by the gravity being exerted on the gas molecules. Right, so it acts as a container, a force to keep everything there. It's not 100% complete. We're kind of losing a tiny smidge of atmosphere to space every single year. But that's what causes it being high pressure at sea level. And when you go up a mountain, there's very, very few oxygens. It's more towards a vacuum.
Okay, but I'm not sure. Where does the line delineate between there still being pressure and then just all of a sudden
question.
10 to the negative 17 torr vacuum?
Yeah, good question.
That's such a big discrepancy. You realize that, right?
Yeah, it's a really good question, because when we say, the atmosphere ends here, it's kind of just a point that we say, hey, this reaches a certain point where we're now going to call it a vacuum. But in actual fact, the gradient gets less and less and less and less and less and less. It goes really far up, getting smaller and smaller each time until it does turn into that vacuum. So if you think about it, there's no point where it just flips over. It's like when we say it's a gradient, it actually becomes less as it goes up until it becomes there. We just mark the atmosphere at a certain level up. We say, hey, that's the end of the atmosphere. But there's still a few molecules above that, because it's that's how gravity works.
Well, okay, why can't gravity keep the air?
How come gravity doesn't pull the molecules all the way to the ocean floor? Like, why does it keep rising? And where does it differentiate?
No, it's a good question.
Right here, you can escape. Here's the ozone layer. We're not gonna, like the ozone layer is made of oxygen, and then it goes up from the oceans, and it just keeps going up to, like, gravity just say, here, stop right here.
Yeah,
Why does it let it rise all the way up?
Yeah, so the thing is, let me answer, Peter.
So...
Let me answer. So the reason why the sea goes under the air is because the sea, being H2O, it's more dense, it's more mass than just the gas molecules. It has more weight. So if you look at molecular weights, the molecules that create water have more weight than the molecules that make, say, air, oxygen, nitrogen, and things like that. So what happens is that water gets pulled down further, and then the air comes on top. But because it's not pulling at the air on the air as hard, it doesn't go down below what's already there. It's why if you go down and swim down and down and down further and further, you'll actually get a gradient as well, as the molecules of the water are all pulled down towards the bottom. They get compressed just like the air does, and then you have really high pressure because the water molecules are way heavier. They've got way more mass than air down the bottom of the ocean.
More dense.
Yeah, they're more dense, basically. And so they get compressed. And
At the end of the day, it's all density. Gravity has no role to play in this. It's all density.
Well, it's mass. It's not really density. So density is basically how much mass in a certain area. So, for instance, you might have say styrofoam. It's not very dense, kind of thing, right? It's a certain amount of mass and spread out. You might have the same amount of mass, something of the same weight as, say, your styrofoam thing, that's a marble, for instance. It's the same weight, but it's a lot less space, and that's more mass. It's more that's dense. Sorry, dense. More mass put into a smaller space. That's.
So it's all density. Hey, I got a question from the audience.
It's not density.
Ask Mark to explain the Selene line eclipse. You know what the Selene line?
I don't know. No, I'm not a physicist or a
Well, that's. I'll give you a quick rundown. So basically, the Selene line eclipse is when you can see a lunar eclipse at this, and the sun is still above the horizon. So, they call it the impossible eclipse because if the Earth is the one making the shadow, then a
lunar eclipse.
You shouldn't be able to see the sun, and on the other side, see a lunar eclipse.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is a blood moon, is a lunar eclipse. Yes, that's what a lunar eclipse is. So it's where the sun's here, the Earth is here. Well, I mean, you said a lunar eclipse. I don't know what else. How do you spell it?
No, a Selene line eclipse, like I explained just now, is when you can see a lunar eclipse on your, wherever the moon is on one side, and then the sun is on the other side, and you can see both of them where you're standing. So that's what a Selene line eclipse is. You spell it SELENELION. So a Selene line eclipse, it's
a Selenian eclipse.
Right, you can see a lunar eclipse, and you can still see the sun above the horizon. So you should not be able to see a Selene line eclipse. And this is a question from Crimson there. That's a great question with biblical cosmology camp. You will say that there's other objects up there. They've been called the Black Sun or Rahu and Ketu in the Hindu cosmology.
How do you spell it?
So
I'm not finding this thing.
Call it black holes.
Well,
or
let me have a look at it. I really do want to have a look at it. How do you spell it?
Yeah. SELENE.
It's
Peter, please. I couldn't. Come on.
Baby. Selene line here. I put it on the private chat.
All right.
Yeah, it's
he tagged me on it, so I saw it. I was not.
It's a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon caused by atmospheric refraction that bends the light.
So basically,
what you're proposing is actually evidence that there is an atmosphere.
Well,
I don't know why you brought that up.
What I'm proposing is that the Earth does not cause lunar eclipses. That's the whole point of it.
This can only happen on a global Earth with an atmosphere. So I'd love it that you brought this up, because this can literally not happen on a flat Earth.
Yeah,
because a flat Earth doesn't have an atmosphere that is curved, which is necessary for the Selenian
we say the dome is
to happen.
Yeah, so the problem with this and flat Earth is also that the bodies will appear on the horizon.
You don't need a curved dome, you need a curved atmosphere.
Well, the problem is also that they appear on the horizon at either end, but they're not above the Earth here. They're on the horizon on either end. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Correct. You see it on your right, you see a lunar eclipse. On your left, you see the sun.
Yeah, this is just atmospheric refraction.
In between it, because you both of them.
Yeah, so that is what happens if the Earth is between the moon and the sun. Then that's how you get an eclipse. That is literally how that works. And the fact that you can see both is because of the refraction of the atmosphere, which can only happen if the Earth is a globe and there is an atmosphere. On a flat Earth with a dome, you couldn't see that because both the moon and the sun would be inside of the dome and couldn't be on the horizon at the same time.
The sky, sir. Second Peter, the sky between the Earth and the dome, you would call that the atmosphere.
Well, I mean, I'm glad that you brought. Can I say something?
You need a curved atmosphere in order to get the refraction.
Second Peter.
Okay.
Are you saying the sun is not really where you're seeing it, or is the moon not really where you're seeing it at that point?
If both are on the horizon, and if both are under the dome over the Earth, how will you explain that on a flat Earth? How can both be on the horizon, not above, on? So half of the sun is under the horizon, half of the sun is above the horizon. Same thing for the moon.
I get your question.
How is that possible on a flat Earth if... Can I finish? How is that possible if both the moon and the sun are above the Earth? How do they sink below the horizon?
All right, yeah, so you're still assuming that it's still the Earth that's causing the eclipse. That's why you got all the memes where, you know...
I'm asking you, I asked you a specific question.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So
the moon and the sun are under the dome above the Earth. How is it possible that we can see both
in the dome
on opposite ends, both on the horizon, which means half of it is visible, the other half is below the horizon? How can that happen if both the sun and the moon are above the Earth?
Well, regarding the Selene-Lion eclipse, bro, that's what we were talking about.
I'm asking you a simple question. We have a flat Earth, and above that we have a sun and a moon. How is it possible that there's a moment in time where we can see half of both above the horizon, the other half we can't see because they're below? Explain that to me. Make a drawing how that works. Make a schematic how that works.
Yeah.
And then post it and then show it through a screen share. Just make a simple drawing how this works on a flat Earth. So
just something very simple.
Go Rebel. I'd like to go after you though, if that's okay.
What?
And I want to say thank you so much for your super chat.
Hey, pseudonym.
Pseudonym.
Yeah, pseudonym.
I like that.
Good guy. Good guy.
What if rewarding to topic? How does a rocket follow the second law of thermodynamics?
So we're not going to let him answer, Praise? Because
Peter, like seriously, he has to get this out.
Be able to answer it.
Yeah, no, I'll let you answer that. Go ahead, Iger.
Well, all he's saying is, how come the sun is setting on one side and the moon on the other side, or whatever, and.
That's not what I asked. Right? Like that's not what I asked.
Peter, let him finish. Let him finish, Peter. We'll be here forever.
Well, the way I'm wording the question, it has nothing to do with the Selene-Lion eclipse. You're talking about just how does the sun set and how does the moon set.
I'm literally describing a Selenian. It is not a Selene-Lion, it's a Selenian eclipse. And I'm describing what you see. Okay. And I'm asking you to make a drawing on how this can happen if both the sun and the moon are above the Earth. Can you make that drawing?
The thing is, with us, we don't think it's the Earth. we don't think it's the Earth causing the eclipse. We think there's other objects up there that we don't know about. That
I'm talking about an eclipse. I'm asking you to.
What causes the eclipse?
I'm asking you to draw a schematic. I'm asking you to draw a schematic. Can you do that?
No, ain't nobody got time for that right now.
Okay. Well, I've got a question. I've got a question. I did want to be next. I did want to be next. I did want to be next. So,
I'm gonna address that.
So look. I want to say something. So you're familiar with lunar eclipses, because I really think the blood moon is absolutely fascinating when it comes to cosmology. So are you familiar with a lunar eclipse?
Because the Bible doesn't speak about eclipses, there's still very much of a mystery.
Okay, right.
But
it's
the blood moon phenomenon saying it's caused by Earth's shadow. I can't remember the last time I've seen a shadow cast a red light on an object.
Yeah, you have, and I'll explain why. It's because what you've got is basically the sun in the middle, right, and then you've got the Earth, and then you've got the moon, right? You got that? So. Sorry, I'm trying to think. You've got sun, then Earth, then moon. So basically, the sun's light is coming out to the Earth, and the Earth is blocking the light to the moon. Okay? Are we all good on that? Okay, I'll continue. I'll continue. Right. So what's happening to make that moon red is the sunlight is hitting the sides of the Earth, right? The atmosphere around the Earth. And what it's doing is it's scattering, making the sunlight red. Now, you've seen this before. What happens when the sun is setting is that the sun goes through the atmosphere and turns it red. It's exactly the same phenomenon, right?
No,
so if you look up, Satan doing sunsets. Cool. That's a new one. So the thing is, if you look at all the phases of a lunar eclipse, you look at all the times like where the shadow starts, because it doesn't just pop in as a blood moon. What happens is the shadow grows slowly across the moon from where the Earth is casting a shadow on the moon. Now, if you look at all the phases, and please look it up, all the phases of a lunar eclipse, there's something interesting. It's always round. No matter what direction across the moon it approaches, no matter when the eclipse happens, it is always a curve. So that means from any part of the Earth, from any side, a lunar eclipse where the sun's light is blocked by the Earth to hit the moon, you always see a curve. There is only one object that from any direction, you will see a curve. And that is a sphere.
Or a circle.
No, a circle's a two-dimensional object. If you look down or sideways rather on a circle, you're not going to see a curve. You're going to see a flat, straight thing. You're gonna see something flat because
the edge of the circle isn't curved.
It's curved, but
he's still assuming that it's the Earth causing the lunar eclipses.
You look at a coin, right? You look at a coin from the side. Would that, and you cast a shadow on the side of that coin. You are not going to see a curve. You're just going to see a straight slot.
Again, you're assuming that it's the Earth that causes the lunar eclipses, and it's not. According to us, it's something else up there that's causing.
What's that? What's that?
You could call it the finger of God. You could call it a black sun. You could call it a black hole. You could call it dark matter, dark energy, whatever you want to call it. It's something else that's causing the lunar eclipses. It's not the Earth.
Well, that's specific. How do we work out what's causing it then?
We don't know, bro. We can't go past the firmament. NASA, RAXA, Jackson, and the other 6 government space agencies can go up to space supposedly, and all they give us is cartoons and CGI. So how are we supposed to know? We don't have a $25 billion budget to go up there and try to figure out what causes eclipses.
Okay,
we just assume that throughout history, there's been other things up there like Rahu and Ketu in the Hindu cosmology, and also something called the black sun, and other historical stuff. So there's other things up there. Even you guys have black holes and, you know, dark matter, dark energy. So you have other things up there that we can't see. So it's the same concept, that it's not the Earth that's causing the lunar eclipses.
Yeah, I just don't find that very convincing, because it's sort of not specific, and you know, it's not. If I can just finish, it's not sort of. It's not in line with what we know about how these things work, and so you know, I understand what you're saying, but
so
it's not really
what's not there?
consistent.
When you talk about the selenium eclipses, what's not really there? You see the sun, you see the moon.
Yeah.
So which one is it that's, you know, being thwarted by refraction? Is it the sun or the moon?
Which one is being what by refraction? Sorry.
I mean, that's the answer. Like, how do selenium eclipses work? How can we see an eclipse while the sun's still up?
So, are you saying what image is distorted?
So either the sun's not there or the moon's not there, and it's being refracted under the horizon that we can't see it. So you're saying when you're you're calling refraction causing the selenium eclipse.
Yeah,
you're saying either the sun's not really where we can see it, or the moon's not really where we can see it.
Yeah, sun. So the way that light refracts is basically the light comes and then it curves. So if you're seeing light that's curved, like down a fiber optic thing, it's the source of the light that's not where you think it is.
Okay, I was just curious what you were gonna say, but so you're saying the sun wasn't, like when we're seeing the eclipses, these selenium eclipses, the sun's not really there, and then when it's on top of your head at noon, the sun's not really there either, is it?
Well, I mean, by you say it's not really there, it's there. It's just that the light's being distorted around. Yeah, if I could just finish, you could just finish. The light's being distorted around the curvature of the Earth, like just as I said. I mean, I could find a picture to sort of describe how the blood moon is caused by the light going around the atmosphere and bending inwards, because it basically, even light's affected by gravity, so when it goes around the atmosphere, it bends.
So let me just say something really quick, just get this in. So I had to finish this question. So how does a rocket follow the second law of thermodynamics, analogous to a bowling or plastic ball's bounce after the ground hit? So I'd like, you know, the flat earthers to address that, you know.
Yeah, can you put the question back up? Because that was a real confusing question.
It's up.
Yeah.
Well, just because analogous to a bowling or plastic balls bounce after ground hit. I don't understand the question. I don't know if any of the other.
I'm not sure I understand either.
Praise, if it means anything, I kind of answered him in the chat, so. I think he seemed to be satisfied with my answer.
Okay.
Can you address it real quick, Rebel? Just address the question real quick. For the super chat.
Well, what I say to him. Basically, what I said to him in the chat was something along the lines like, you know, boats in the water, like boats, like racing boats or whatever, like propel off the water. Like that's the medium that they use to push and propel off of to gain distance, right? And then, you know, cars, you know, propel off the concrete of the road. You can say airplanes and jets, they propel off the air in the atmosphere. But when you go to space, which is a vacuum, there's not really much of a medium or substance up there to even push off of. So that's part of the reason why we think space travel is not even possible when you look at it that way. But Mark,
I have a question. Praise. Can you make me full screen for a second?
Sure. Yeah, hold
on. I got a short video too that it has a drone.
I just made a schematic that you guys didn't have time for. So this is a selenium eclipse. So can you make me a similar drawing where the sun and the moon are inside the dome? Because this is what you see. You see the sun half below the horizon, the moon half below the horizon. The horizon is the flat line. You see the earth and you see the dome. Now, make me a picture where you can stand anywhere on earth. Make me a picture where you can stand anywhere on earth. You can pick where you can see half of the sun, half of the moon, and a flat Earth with a dome, and the moon and the sun being inside the dome, over the Earth. Please draw me a picture how that works.
Peter, you win.
Can I address this picture real quick? The sun in the Selene line eclipse, the sun is not halfway below the horizon.
It is because I just looked it up. It is. I just looked it up.
Have you ever seen a Selene line eclipse? Because the sun is literally
I just looked. It is not called a Selene line eclipse. It's called a Selenian eclipse, and that is literally what that means. Yeah, what you call it isn't interesting.
Okay, well the challenge is out there.
What the name science gave it is Selenian eclipse. So that is the name that we're going by.
Well, I mean, regardless of
you can call the Earth bozo. I don't care. I'm still going by Earth.
Yeah, regardless of what it's called, the challenge is out there. I think Peter is basically saying that there's no possible way you can put the sun and the moon below the equator and still have it within that dome, because it would then be sort of embedded in the Earth.
It wouldn't work.
It doesn't work. But that's okay. The challenge is out there.
If on a flat Earth, the sun and the moon are above the Earth, you can never get this picture. Yeah, go ahead.
Can I share my screen for, to not only correct the spelling, but...
no, only... it's a $20.
Or I don't know where you're at. You got an accent. So you might be...
Wait, so I just got $20 out of you, Praise?
Nice.
That's kind of you, actually. I got it for free. He needs to pay.
Yeah, that's this. Yeah, that's it.
For me, 2 Peter.
Yeah. I see you. I see you putting up a picture of a Selenian eclipse and not a Selene line eclipse. But continue.
How do you say it? Selene line eclipse.
Selene.
Lion eclipse. I'm reading.
You can't even get the spelling right, dude. Just give up already.
Did I get the spelling wrong?
Here's another meme. A Selene line.
Yeah, I got the spell. Yeah, I got the spelling wrong. My bad. My bad. If I'm wrong, I'm going to admit that I'm wrong. I got the spelling wrong.
You can see the sun. You can see the sun above your head, not below the horizon.
Oh, but the picture you're showing, hold on, the picture you're showing is on a globe Earth, not on a flat Earth. Do you see that? Do you see the Earth is a globe?
Yeah, but that's a globe.
I'm just pointing out. I'm just pointing out that
about my spelling being wrong.
No.
You're confirming what I said, that the Earth is a globe and that the sun and the moon are not inside the dome. So thank you for pulling up a picture that confirms what I said.
Look, no one cares about the spelling. No one cares about the spelling.
Phenomenon on a flat Earth.
Yeah, so that's a globe Earth that you're showing right now. That's a globe Earth.
Yeah.
You guys know we can show you your diagrams to show you why it doesn't make sense. I think that maybe that's what Iger's trying to do. And second, Peter, would you like a cookie
honestly, now? I just looked up Selene line eclipse. This is just the first move, and it was because you were telling me that I was dumb because I pronounced it Selene line like I would read it, and that's all, and that's what comes up. So yeah.
I said I was wrong. I said I was wrong. If you want me to apologize for correcting you on something that I was wrong on, I'm more than happy to do that. No problem.
I'm just saying they call it the impossible eclipse, according to this guy here, Conspiracy Cats or whatever his name is. It's still above the horizon as you see in this ball diagram, and they call it the impossible eclipse. And you will claim refraction, but at that point you're saying the sun's not really where you're seeing it, or the moon's not really where you're seeing it. And according to what he said is the source lies that causes the refraction. So then he's saying the sun's not really where you're seeing it. Mm-hmm. But if you're watching the sun the whole afternoon, so you're saying the sun's not really there the whole time, and that's the whole problem with the
not what anybody said.
You're saying the sun's not really where it's at.
What I asked you. Hold on.
I'm not talking to you, Eric. 2 Peter. Sorry.
I asked you to pull up a picture of a flat Earth with this phenomenon.
He did.
And now in order to prove what I'm telling you is that in order to prove me wrong, you pulled up a picture of a globe Earth where the sun and the moon are not under the dome.
Yeah.
I know you're not going to
pull up a picture. Now pull up a picture. pull up a picture. Pull up a picture. No, pull up a picture of a flat Earth where the sun and the moon are inside the dome, and how you can have this phenomenon.
Conspiracy Cats has been.
I didn't ask you. I'm not talking about Conspiracy Cats. I don't care. I asked you for a schematic on a flat Earth, and now you come up with the correct explanation, which is on a globe Earth, where the refraction is causing what you see, which is what I said in the first place. That is literally what is shown in the picture.
Yeah.
The sun and the moon are both below the horizon because of the refraction. Because of the refraction of the atmosphere, it looks like they're higher up in the sky, and you can still see those.
The sun and the moon are not.
What I'm asking you is pull up a schematic on a flat Earth and a selenium eclipse. Please pull that up.
That is what he asked for.
People who confirm what I said, go to a flat Earth website that has a schematic that has the sun and the moon inside the dome, and yet both are half below the horizon. Let me see how that works.
They gotta be. That's you're still saying they're half below the horizon. Even in this globe.
So what you're saying is you can't find a picture. You can't find a picture where that's possible.
Well, he hasn't yet, I guess. He hasn't.
Or are you just flat out refusing to show a schematic of what you mean? I'm fine with both.
Where are you at?
I'm fine with both. I'm in the Netherlands.
Well, that's okay. You can find it at your leisure, but a flat Earth picture of it, a diagram. Just a second, Peter. I just want to say something.
Reid is in Australia.
I am,
I think we've got all parts of the
all continents represented.
No, I'm a flat earther, guys.
Well, what I'm saying is, what I'm saying at this point, Praise, according to the selenium eclipse, according to the mainstream science,
you're just showing.
That's not really where you're seeing it.
You're just showing a debunking flat Earth misconceptions
exactly what Mark and I have been saying.
Yeah, that literally says debunking flat Earth misconceptions on the screen.
You're seeing the sun here, but they say apparent position, actual position.
Yeah, yeah. So okay. Just quick.
I think the sun is really where you're seeing it, and the moon's really where you're seeing it.
Okay, well then fine. Find a diagram of this phenomenon outlined on a flat Earth, not a globe Earth like this picture, on a flat Earth, and we will go, yes, it could work on a flat Earth. Okay, but it appears to be irrational because it can't work.
The problem is you can't find. The problem is that you can't find that schematic, and you're too dishonest to admit that. Because we could give you days in order to find that schematic of a selenium eclipse, and you still could not come up with one.
You've literally got something on the screen.
Why not concede that you're wrong, and why not concede that you made a claim that is based on literally absolutely nothing?
No.
Because you can't find anything to confirm it, but the first thing you come up with is what confirms the globe Earth.
Well,
and just quickly, just quickly.
And as far as refraction goes, I think you may have heard of glasses. Where the glass is curved and you put that in a frame on your face in order to refract what you're seeing, in order to either enlarge or to shrink it. That is how lenses work. That is how the atmosphere works as a lens.
And to be fair, you did have something. Just a sec, Peter. Just one thing, real quick. Peter, come on, dude. 1 second, real quick. You literally had something on the screen saying that using it as your explanation that said down the bottom, debunking flat Earth misconceptions, and the explanation of why you are wrong on the screen.
This is anti-flat Earth website, but.
So why are you going to an anti-flat Earth website to find a schematic that confirms the flat Earth?
I can't find a schematic. Because you're still assuming that we know what causes the eclipse is. We admit that we don't know what causes the eclipse is.
I didn't even look for a schematic. I made my own. If Praise wants to make me full screen, you can see that by now I even have corrected the spelling. So that is a clear sign that I made it.
Yeah, share your screen again. You're
You even signed it, Peter, down the bottom. Peter, that should be second, Peter.
The Earth is there, the sun, the moon are there, but that's not what we're seeing. And then you're claiming refraction. But
that is what we're seeing. That's literally what you're showing on the picture that you have right now. This is what we see. It's not what is actual. This is what we see. But this doesn't work on a flat Earth.
That's not what we see.
I drew for you a flat Earth and a sun and a moon. The only thing is I can't get both of them below the horizon if I put them under the dome.
I don't know why you keep putting them below the horizon. They should both be above the horizon. That's what we actually see.
Then that's not a slimline eclipse.
So what you're saying is that the refraction of the curved atmosphere actually is there. That is what you're saying. The curved atmosphere that can only exist on a globe Earth. We have a flat Earth with a globe Earth atmosphere around it. That is what you're saying? Is that what you claim? Well, the Earth is flat, but the atmosphere is a globe?
Correct.
The Earth is flat, but the atmosphere is a globe. What? So it's not a dome? Yeah. I don't
Earth
understand.
Still has some kind of depth to it. Like it still has some sort of concave shape to it, which we believe is a container.
How on earth do you know that? How do you know what the underside of a flat Earth looks like if you can't go there? If you can't make pictures, if you can't.
Second Peter, it's called simple logic and inductive reasoning.
Yeah, simple logic. I can do you simple logic with a deck of cards, and you will lose every single time.
Okay. Well, let's just assume the bottom is concave or whatever you said. The bottom's concave. Just draw the diagram of your flat Earth like Peter has done and get the sun and the moon on the horizon, which is what it appears to look like in a seleniline eclipse, and then put them inside the dome without crashing into the Earth.
You guys keep saying that. I just showed how the anti-flat Earth page literally puts we see them both above the horizon.
Yeah, but that's not what we asked for.
Like he's showing here, even according to the flat Earth debunker.
Yeah, so
we see them both above the horizon, literally above the horizon.
So it's not.
Like 2 years.
They're on the horizon. So find a diagram for your flat Earth, and we'll have a look at it and see how you've gotten it into the dome, on the horizon, and not into the Earth. Okay? Cool.
Okay, yeah, cool. Iger,
the whole thing is, it's not the Earth causing the solar eclipses. That's all. All right, I yield.
Yeah, can you just let this go? Because we can go all day and night.
Right. I do have a question.
There was a question from the audience.
Yeah, that's true. Well, no, that was the Oh, yeah, you're right. It was a question from the audience. I do apologize. I did have a really a question about the sort of topic of this. And it's sort of atheist cosmology. And I was wondering why it's atheist cosmology when there's a whole bunch of theists out there that believe in the mainstream cosmological model. I mean, a lot of astronomers are theists. So I'm really baffled as to why you're calling it atheist.
I really wanted to call it retarded cosmology, but I had to put atheist there.
Right, okay, so you just...
Can you stop the screen share, please?
Just clickbait, is it? Just clickbait. Clickbait.
Inaccurate diagram.
But I mean, atheist cosmology is more like the Lawrence Krauss sort that you don't need a god to explain the universe. That's what I mean by that, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And actually, that goes to like something I had pulled up, if I could share with you guys, because I really could care less to go back and forth with two atheists. I'd rather talk about the bigger picture about why we believe in a flat Earth and why we think it's so important. Because actually, at least for our belief, the reason why they lie about it is at the deepest level, it's spiritual warfare to hide the truth of the Bible. and which would lead to not knowing the one and only true God that created the heavens and the earth, right?
So let me get this straight, Rebel. You think that I'm lying, and you don't want to talk to someone like who's me because I'm lying to you about what I believe. Have I got that right?
No, I never once even used the word lie.
Well, didn't you say atheist?
Wait.
I'm an atheist.
No, I did. Okay, no, I did use the word lie, but I'm talking about the people who propagate this idea of a heliocentric globe model. I was, if anything, when I was talking about you and Peter, is I don't want to waste time going back and forth with you guys. I would rather get to the bigger picture of why we believe what we believe. Maybe towards like people like Praise or Christians on the chat, because to in my opinion, they're the ones that have showed at least a simple level of logic to believe in God in the first place. I don't really find atheists to be credible in anything that they say.
I have a question about simple. I have a question about simple logic. Praise, can you make me full screen again?
Oh boy.
Please.
Yes, I will, Peter. Little Peter. I'm going to call you Little Peter.
Yeah, you can call me Little Peter. I don't even care. Because after if you
oh no.
If I'm done with this, you can call me Peter the Great. So hold on. I've got a deck of cards. Yeah. Okay. So let me show you. They're all different.
You don't care about magic.
They're all different. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to riff through the deck like this, and you're going to say stop. Please do that for me.
You don't care about magic, but okay.
Say stop.
You know, you say it, dude. No one cares.
Praise, you say stop.
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 Okay. You sure you want to stay here with this?
No one cares.
With this?
I want to stay right there.
Okay. Okay. What I'm going to tell you is that the card you picked is the 8 of Hearts, which I will show you. You see it?
You didn't pick
anything. You see it?
You just told us to say stop.
I do.
Okay. Ah, shit. I'm going to put... Hold on. I need 2 hands.
Can you imagine?
The 8 of Hearts, right? I'm going to put the 8 of Hearts on top, right? Then I'm going to take the other part of the deck, put it on top. Simple logic says, where's the 8 of Hearts, Praise?
I would say the middle.
Well, you wouldn't say that this top card could be the 8 of Hearts?
That's a good one. That is some good stuff, Peter.
Let me cut the deck for you. Let me cut the deck for you, and I'll make it easy. I'll let it stick out, right? So here we have the deck, right? You can see it. I'm putting this on this end.
I'm so impressed by your sleight of hand.
Okay. You can see the 8 of Hearts, Praise?
I do.
What does this have to do with anything?
I know, right?
I'll pull it. I'll push it. I'll push it.
Okay, you got me. We come from Amoeba.
right.
So,
the God's not real now. Magic
Praise. Where's the 8 of Hearts?
I would say near the middle somewhere.
So it couldn't be the card on top?
No.
There's your simple logic. There's your simple logic.
God's not real now because you did a magic trick. Good job, dude. You proved us all wrong.
I'm just proving what I'm trying to prove. What I'm trying to prove to you. What I'm trying to hold on. Let me finish one sentence. What I was trying to prove is that simple logic doesn't always cut it. You can be tricked by your eyes, which is what happens in the Selene Lion eclipse. That is what happens. It's a trick of the eye, just like I just did with these playing cards. That is it.
Hey, if you could do that, imagine what NASA can do with $26 billion.
$60 million a day.
In fact,
bro, just saying. Imagine when NASA.
Yeah. I mean, they could do a fair bit. You'd have to demonstrate that they actually
what NASA
do
does
something.
With that money is they pay me, and then I do. Oh, hold on, shit. I do this because that wasn't an American flag they planted on the moon. That was a flag with my logo, as you can see.
Well,
that's pretty terrible CGI, mate.
They have a Freemason flag that they supposedly took to the moon. Let me see if that comes up.
So I wanted to ask Rebel, like, why do you think that sort of scientists are lying to you? Why do you think that?
Well, it's not.
Yeah.
At the deepest level, it's actually Satan doing the lying and the deceiving. He just has to use, a quote alleged scientist to propagate the deception, right? Because he can't do it literally himself. He's a spiritual, probably in some ways invisible being. Although he probably could manifest physically.
Most people working for NASA are Christians. So what you're saying is that Satan is fooling.
Yeah, a lot of them are.
You mean the same astronauts that won't put a hand on the Bible?
Yeah.
That same astronaut?
I could pull that up. I can pull that up real quick. That's funny.
That is what we call an urban myth.
No.
Astronauts.
The astronauts, the fact that they won't, they won't even say on their word, put their hand on the Bible, and instead they punch them in the face.
No, that's Buzz Aldrin punching somebody in the face for telling him that he didn't go to the moon. That was completely different.
What reason would it be where that guy would get angry to the point of?
So the astronauts. Peter, hey, I got asked a question. Peter, please. So astronauts train for years and years and years, breaking their backs, and they're some of the most highly trained people on the planet. They've got to have a knowledge of engineering. They've got to have a knowledge of flight and aeronautics. They spend arduous time training, and then they go out on the mission where they might die. People have died in space before. Then they get back and they have some clown ask them, "Oh, you didn't really go to the moon," when the guy risked his life to do so. Yeah, I'd be tempted to bop him one as well.
Why? Why won't you do something simple? Let's put your hand on the Bible and just say, "Yeah, I went to the space."
Because some muppet is telling me when I risked my life and maybe almost died doing something and spent years of my life training for it that I'm a liar. Yeah, they're an idiot.
You would not be angry.
They're an idiot.
I have a question for you. Do you know a veteran, any veteran, that has served in maybe Iraq? Do you know any of those?
No.
No, and you're saying something that doesn't matter again.
Well, it does matter, because if you come across a veteran who claims to have served in Iraq.
They've risked their life.
Lost some of his colleagues in Iraq. Go up to that guy and said, "You never went to Iraq. The military is fake," and see what happens.
Good luck.
You're gonna get punched in the face.
You're gonna get punched in the face.
If that's the only thing that's going to happen to you,
astronauts risk their lives.
If I told them put their hand on your Bible, put their hand on the Bible, they wouldn't do that. Yeah, they would literally just do it.
You are aware that there are Muslim soldiers in the U.S. who wouldn't put their hand on the Bible. You're aware that there are atheist soldiers that wouldn't put their hand on the Bible. There are Hindu soldiers in the U.S. that wouldn't put their hand on the Bible. Why would anyone put their hand on the Bible? Why is that significant?
Okay, instead of the Bible, let's take their Quran or whatever their Bible religious book is. They'll put their hand on there.
Why is that significant? What does that prove? If I put my hand on Harry Potter, does that make everything I say true now all of a sudden? Does that work for you?
You claim people who work for NASA are Christians, so how come they're not showing it? Why are they so afraid to put their hand on the Bible?
Yeah, so really, what I want to know...
So every did I say that everyone working for NASA is a Christian?
If I was Christian, I was lying. I would not put my hand on the Bible and say I was. if I was lying, I wouldn't, and I was a Christian, I would not put my hand on the Bible and say that.
That is why earlier I didn't ask the other guy to put his hand on the Bible and say that he would go off on Google and come up with a schematic on how the Selenium eclipse would work on a flat Earth, because he wouldn't put his hand on the Bible because he knows that he can't find that schematic. That's why I didn't ask him to put his hand on the Bible. And if I were to ask him right now,
and I will say,
if he will go out now, go on Google, put his hand on the Bible, go on Google, come back with that schematic, he would not put his hand on the Bible because he knows he can't find it.
And how the heaven works.
Would you put your hand on the Bible and say that within an hour you could? Would you put your hand on the Bible and say that within an hour you can draw me a schematic?
The firmament was created on day 2, according to the.
That is not what I asked. I said, would you put your hand on the Bible right now and say, okay, I'm going to take a pen and a piece of paper, and I'm going to draw a schematic, make a picture of that, and then show that on screen right here. Are you going to put your hand on the Bible that you can make that simple, easy schematic within an hour? Put your hand on the Bible and say, yes, I'm going to do that, and then go do it.
Look, man. We don't know exactly how the flat Earth looks.
Wait, why aren't you putting your hand on the Bible?
Why
won't you? Peter, you believe in the flat Earth. You've got a pen and a piece of paper, right?
Okay.
Put your hand on the Bible and draw me a schematic on a flat Earth with the Selenium. With the Selenium.
Okay, we're going back on a topic that we kind of agreed to drop because it was going round in circles. No, Peter, we agreed. Stop, Peter, you've got to stop, mate. You've got to stop. All we're doing is creating a yelling match.
Christians in here who won't put their hand on the Bible.
It doesn't matter.
I made my point.
Okay, you've made your point. You've made your point. Absolutely, you've made your point multiple times already.
Your
okay.
point is you're stupid.
Well, that's not his point, and I think that's pretty, base to just call people names, to be honest with you. So I want to talk about Buzz Aldrin and sort of trying to understand where he's coming from. Okay, can I do that for a second? So he joined the Gemini program.
Listening to Second Peter.
Okay, well, so did you know that he lost some friends in the Gemini 9 crew? He was backup for Gemini 10. And Elliot C. and Charles Bassett, he lost those two people. They died. Okay? They died in an air crash. And so you're going up to a veteran of the Air Force who risked his life going to space, who lost two friends, and you're going, hey, you never did anything that you said you did. I'm not like you're looking into this like, well, there's no reason he would have done this and that. Yeah, there was a reason. And you might disagree with, hey, how mad that made him. You might say, hey, he didn't deserve to get that mad. Maybe. But there is a reason why he reacted the way he did. Because if I lost two friends in a NASA operation or even at work, and you went up to me and say, hey, you don't work there, and whatever you do is rubbish. Yeah, I'd be pretty angry as well. I got to admit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So understand the context.
Oh, okay, that's cool. But there's also plenty of videos of Buzz Aldrin.
Can I reply to that real quick? Because a lot of astronauts did die on the early programs.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Robert.
I don't want to really get into it.
I was just going to say there's a couple people that did die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a few people have died, yeah.
A couple people did die. There was a guy called Buzz Grisham. He did die because he said that they couldn't go to the moon, so they killed him. So, yeah, I could see once your friends that probably trying to expose the moon landing hoax been killed, I could see how they would
yeah. I don't know. I think that's just conspiracy theory, to be honest with you. I don't, you'd have to back that up with something more. I think you'd have to back that up with something more than just, some guy was killed kind of thing for this, because there's no evidence of that whatsoever.
Do you want to know a fun fact? I made a video for a certain guy Have a look. Praise.
I don't want to know.
Make me full screen.
Yeah, and Buzz Aldrin, he joined in 1966. He actually went to the moon in 1969. That's 3 years of training. 3 years of training. Imagine training for 3 years.
No, it's not Buzz. It's
Praise, can you make me full screen, please?
Oh, not another magic trick.
No. This is the guy in the picture has this video, and I made it for him, and he thanked me for it. Tell me who that is. Tell me who that is.
You want a cookie now? It's Buzz Aldrin. Do you want a piece of cake now?
Exactly.
You want a cookie now? Congratulations.
Yeah, I think that, you know, I won't condone violence against anybody, but I kind of get where Buzz Aldrin was coming from. I'm not condoning,
me too.
But, you know, to do what he does. Look, I couldn't be an astronaut. There's no way. There's no way. They are the best of us. They are really highly trained. They have to do years in the Air Force, but even before they even try to be an astronaut. And so you're basically calling a bunch of veterans of the Air Force liars.
Right, and that same kind of training is that what Jeff Bezos and the other random people on his
in 1966
went through as well. That like 89-year-old grandma, is that the same kind of training she went through as well, Mark?
Yeah, well, Jeff Bezos didn't go to the moon, mate.
But he went up to space, right? He was an astronaut for a day, right?
Right. He went as a passenger. Yes, there were people who were actually piloting that space shuttle that did do the training, but Jeff Bezos wasn't driving the thing.
Who was piloting?
Can I share my screen again?
I mean, I don't know. Do you want me to look it up? I don't know.
All the people
Wait,
that were.
He doesn't have to pay $20, Praise. He doesn't have to pay. He doesn't have to pay $20.
He will through credit card later on.
Here's Gus Grissom, bro. Hey, here's astronaut Gus Grissom, right? He says
to the moon, and then he gets to
I have no clue what happened, but I'm getting it.
Terrible echo.
It's a J!
You gotta mute your... It's a small step.
Man.
Okay. Iger, do you mind? I'm not sure who that is, but I want to share my screen for a little presentation.
I'll go for it, bro.
You're good. You're good at doing Google searches. Why wouldn't you search for the schematic I asked you for?
Dude, okay, you win. Dude, you win. Like, you can get a cookie, you get a whole cake.
Yeah, I think you should drop that.
We're done with that. Like,
yeah, we're done with that one.
What more do you want to get over that? Like, I put my hand on the Bible, you win, okay? It's over. Okay, like
the earth isn't flat. We won.
Congratulations, you win. Yes, good job. Did you hear my clapping? Okay. All right. So look, now let me talk to the people who express at least a simple amount of logic, which means they believe that God exists, because the beautiful complex nature that we all see, it could not have come about as a result of a random mindless cosmic accident. Okay, but now I'm gonna point this to
like you mean like a God saying let there be light.
This idea of a heliocentric globe model, infinite, spinning and hurling through space at hundreds of thousands of miles per hour, and you get up to the millions of miles per hour when you talk about the Milky Way galaxy moving through the universe itself.
Sure.
Okay, this is what it comes down to. So why do they lie about the shape of the Earth? A lot of people won't even entertain the idea of a flat Earth because they don't see the reasoning behind the lie. Right, that's a big part.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hypothetically speaking,
I agree with you. I agree with you. If you're in a car, and going 120 miles an hour,
like, oh my god,
you get blown out of the car because you can't do the speed that the car's doing. Right?
I just want to this is he's been sharing his screen like the whole time, dude. Can you just mute him for a second or something? Hypothetically speaking, if we were to convince any of you on the channel, atheist or Christian, it doesn't matter, like the Earth is flat. Next logical question that you would ask is like, okay, like why would they lie about it, right? It's like,
why would you ask that?
Yeah, why do you lie about it?
Like, it sounds
tell us.
trivial. Like, why would they lie, right?
But yeah, why do you lie about it? Because you can't come up with a schematic of the thing that you thought was 100%
like this guy won't
true.
let me finish like anything. Like, what's going on?
Why do you keep lying if you can't prove it?
Let him finish.
I'm just asking why he keeps lying when he can't
let
prove
him finish.
it.
Dude, let me lie.
All you're doing
let me lie,
of
dude.
the opposite.
Let me lie.
Peter, all you're doing is extending.
I'm myself own whole, right? Like,
just a second,
like
Rebel. Just 1 second, mate.
Feelings, you just let me go on because whatever I'm saying is just dumb and retarded.
Just
right? So
1 second, Rebel.
Hole.
Can I just speak to Peter for 1 second, mate? Peter, all you're doing is extending the time it takes for him to say what he needs to say. So just let him finish, and then you can talk all you want about what he said. So let's just get what he's saying out, and then we can move on to talking about it and, consider it.
Exactly. Well said, Mark.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow.
Go ahead.
Sense of reasoning. Okay. So, like I think the majority of Christians in this on this stream tonight, they can acknowledge that the theory of evolution is the scientific consensus amongst like the world, to the point where you can get actually like a PhD in evolutionary biology. Like, that's how well it is accepted to be as a scientific fact or theory, right? But despite that being true, the majority of Christians, if not all of us on this stream right now, will not accept the theory of evolution to be true. Okay? So I'm just saying the same. You can take that same kind of reasoning when it comes to the cosmology. There's no real reason why you would question and be a skeptic of the theory of evolution, despite it being the scientific consensus amongst the general scientific community. But when it comes to cosmology, you want to take that at face value and not question it, and you just want to like believe whatever they have to say about it. No, there's no, like, they both go hand in hand when you think about it.
Question?
Okay. Is that Mark? Is that Mark?
That's Peter. That's Peter.
That's Peter.
Oh boy.
I mean, it's yes or no. Can I ask a question?
No, because you've been interrupting too much. Sorry. Okay. So
I'll wait.
Why? I'm gonna show you why evolution and the cosmology go hand in hand. Okay. So let's read this. Why do they lie about the shape of the Earth? Without the globe model, the Big Bang model wouldn't be considered. Which, by the way, if you didn't know, was created by a Roman Catholic Jesuit priest. Okay. It kind of raises questions when there's someone who believes in the Bible, reads a 6-day creation in the Genesis account, but somehow goes behind God's back and goes, oh, you know what? No, I know the Bible says 6-7 days, but no, I'm actually going to say it's like 13.4 billion years. Okay, that tells you a lot about the Catholic Church and the demonic.
Georges Lemaitre.
The demonic.
Georges Lemaitre is
thank
the guy
you.
Yes,
yes, I know. Yes, the demonic inspiration of the Catholic Church, and specifically speaking, the Society of Jesus, aka the Jesuits. Okay, anyway. So the theory of evolution wouldn't be on the table. Without the theory of evolution, extraterrestrial seeding mankind is over, which a lot of people do believe, especially within the New Age community. Without all these lies, people start thinking about the Creator, who we are, where we came from. They're hiding God. This is the very essence of the lie. Okay, they're literally hiding God. Like, which, if what we're saying is true about the Earth being flat, stationary, level, and fixed to a foundation, enclosed in a dome, and literally right outside of the dome is God in heaven Himself, literally right above us. It completely debunks and kills atheism on the spot. Okay, so
I have a question.
I'd like to say something as well afterwards, please.
What's your opinion on standing for truth? Are those Christians?
Yeah,
are they
yes,
Christians?
They are. Can I wait? You asked me a question. Can I answer now? Can I answer?
Yeah. I just want to point out that both Kent and Standing for Truth have videos on their channel claiming that the flat Earth is a lie and that people who believe in it are stupid.
Yes, I know that.
Okay, but they are Christians.
Yes, they are, because
they're not working for Satan. They're not working for Satan.
Well, he did say earlier that people
they profess a globe Earth.
That's right, because whether or not
you said people who profess a globe Earth are working for Satan.
Without even like being interrupted. This is crazy.
Only Jay Pasnick works for Satan.
I'm just trying to get to a point.
Oh yeah.
He thinks relishes in it.
I love it. Praise, do me a favor.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of curious to hear Rebel's opinions on
flip this part for me and send it to Standing for Truth. And then
what is there to send? Peter? I haven't even answered your question. Like, you just keep going on and on. What is there to say?
No. They work for Satan.
I'd just like to say something about what you said.
I just want Praise to send them the clip.
I'd just like to say something about what you said.
I didn't even answer your question, bro.
The problem is, Revel, here's the problem.
You're interrupting Peter, and the other one, they're not interrupting Peter.
I'll take it. So the problem with what you've said is that it doesn't really matter. The shape of the Earth, like you could have a flat Earth and still have evolution, or you could have a round Earth and evolution isn't happening and God created everything, which a lot of Christians do believe. Just because one's true, it doesn't invalidate the other. I don't think you've sort of connected the dots on that one, why one has to invalidate the other, because there's plenty of models out there, like Standing for Truth and like Kent Hovind, who say it's round and evolution is false, and I think that's what Peter's getting at. And also that just because it's a round Earth, it doesn't falsify a God. Big Bang doesn't falsify a God. It doesn't say that God didn't start the Big Bang. All it says is this is how the universe expanded after the start of it. It doesn't falsify a God. So you're sort of accusing us of trying to hide something that the theories don't in fact falsify. And the third point is that evolution, there's a lot of theists who believe in evolution, a lot of Christians that believe in evolution. Francis Collins used to be the head of the Human Genome Project, and he is absolutely dead sure it is true. And he's a very devout Christian, and it doesn't falsify God because it doesn't say what originally caused evolution to happen, because we don't kind of know.
Oh yeah, I believe in evolution too. Yeah, growing up, it's only I've only became a quote flat earther just as of 2 years ago. You know, I had no reason to believe that I was being lied to in school about the Big Bang and about evolution. I thought simply that those were the scientific explanations of by which the mechanisms that God used to create the world that He did. Right, I had no reason to believe that they lied about it.
Okay, so what convinced you? Like, what actually convinced you that this was the case? What came to you? Because I'm assuming you experienced or saw or had something that you were like, well, here's the model that I've been given, and that's what we all believe. What actually flipped you over to flat Earth?
I mean, it's just a multitude. A multitude of evidence. I mean, for me, simply, of course you would disagree, but simply the fact that bodies of water seek to find their own level at rest, or even just generally speaking, like water finds level, which means, in other words, it lays flat. And when you consider the fact that that's relevant, because over 70% of the surface of the Earth is water, right? So it's very relevant to the shape of the Earth. That for me alone is enough to convince me, right?
So that was the main thing.
On top of that, there has been just, I mean, it's kind of overwhelming to even like start to think about all the things that just have completely convicted me on, this paradigm shift I've had and to change my mind. But it goes down to conspiracy, like things like the Antarctica Treaty of 1959, all the bloopers of the NASA astronauts on the alleged ISS. I mean, trust me, there is just a litany of things that, like, over time has more and more convicted me of this new worldview that I have now.
I'm really sorry, Rebel. I mean, I would like to trust you, but I've seen too much and worked in a number of professions that sort of deal with things like satellite internet and stuff like that. And I've got a mountain of evidence on my, and I know you don't believe it. I'm cool with that. But what I'm wondering is, you said that the main, or I thought that you said that the main thing was that water finds its own level, and that was really convincing for you.
No, not the main thing. I just said that
alone
that's one
is enough. Of the things. Oh, that alone is enough. It's just that you must have known that before you started believing in flat Earth, right? That water would become flat. It would stay level.
I don't want to interrupt. Praise, check the private chat.
But I never really thought about it deeply enough on a worldwide level.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it never crossed my mind to like apply that and extrapolate it to to the Earth in general. No.
And what's your definition of level? What are you saying is level?
Kind of like what you see in this picture here. It's just like it's just from left
to
right.
Yes, that is level.
It's like straight horizontal.
Yep. Well, it's not. Level, according to like the actual definition of it, is perpendicular to the center of gravity.
Yeah, when I build a house and I'm trying to make a level, that's exactly what
it's the Joker
to the center of the Earth. It's so stupid, bro. That's so dumb. It's flat. Level means flat, bro. In every language in the freaking world.
Well, thanks for that. I mean, I just love when people insult me.
Every language in the world.
Yes.
Every single language.
So do you know why people insult
Except
others?
For,
they don't have an argument. That's why.
Bro, level literally means flat in every single language of the world.
Yeah, not physics.
Did you get deleted, Conspiracy Cats, or what?
I'm sorry?
Did your channel get deleted? I can't find it.
I'm sorry?
I was looking for it.
Whose channel? My channel?
Yeah, didn't you have a Conspiracy Cats channel or something like that?
No?
Conspiracy Cats passed away not too long ago.
Oh.
I don't know any Conspiracy Cats. I think I've heard of him, but that's not me. I'm not.
He has a channel. He was he was the producer, I think, for several people. He worked with Creaky Blinder, and sadly he passed away just a few months ago.
Oh, that's tragic.
I thought you were the same dude, bro.
Oh, no worries, no worries. Yeah, no, I don't really follow that kind of stuff, but that's okay. That's all right. You know.
All right. Hey, can I play this real quick? It's 45 seconds. I gotta leave soon, so this is because people ask like, how come astronauts nobody ever comes out? This guy here, he's been hounded, like you say, by this guy or whatever, and he knows he's at the end of his life, so he actually did this. He said something real weird. All of them do. Like, Neil Armstrong said something real weird in his last speech, but check this out real quick.
Talk about this, because this is fascinating. I remember very clearly, I think anybody who was alive at the time does. I remember my parents waking me up, and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation.
That's dubbed.
Associated what you saw with.
I have very hazy memories.
Yeah, I know.
Well, what we saw was we all.
That's dubbed. I remember the real clip. That's dubbed. That's a lie.
We're going to the left and right, and then.
That's a lie.
Contact light, engine stop.
I remember this.
No, that's comedy.
No, he said comedy. What he said was you didn't watch it live because the transmission took a certain amount of time to get to the Earth. That's what he said. That's been dubbed. Correct. That's been dubbed. That's an absolute lie.
I don't know. We can watch it again. He literally says it was animation that you saw, but
that's been dubbed over, dude.
This is fascinating. I remember very clearly. I think anybody who was alive at the time does. I remember my parents.
You don't understand comedy, but that's okay.
You guys land on the moon,
No,
which
you
was
didn't. No, you didn't.
What?
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation, so you associated what you saw with.
I have very hazy memories.
I know.
Well, what we saw was we all were gathered around the old curved top radio and listened conscious about all the. I mean,
we were focused. To the left and right, and I said contact light, engine stop.
This was exciting.
What you saw was.
I have very hazy memories.
I know.
Well,
Because there wasn't any television. There wasn't anybody taking a picture. You watched animation.
Yeah.
So you associated what you saw with.
I have very hazy memories.
Not a bad line.
I'm convinced.
Actor.
It's just a part of the process.
Praise. Can I play a video of a preacher who says God doesn't exist? Because
Here's
I got that video.
Oh
my. I have that video.
Let me see that.
Wait. Before I leave that, here's in the bus, Aldrin, kind of admission.
Why is nobody been to the meeting such a lie?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. Because I want to know what I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen.
I will say that one can be taken out of context a little bit, but there's a couple other astronauts that came out, like Gus Grissom that I was trying to show earlier. He put lemon on the Apollo one of the Apollo rockets because he knew it was fake, and they ended up killing him. So yeah, a lot of astronauts did lose their lives, and mostly they were murdered because some people try to come out. All right.
Praise.
Anyways, man, whatever you believe,
if you want to share it,
God loves you. Jesus loves you. I hope you have a good night wherever you are on this pond. And Rebel and Peter and Praise and Mark Reid. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, stick around for just a minute.
And I'll watch. But yeah, Jay was my first flat Earth debate.
If you watch, shut up because it has sound. If you watch, shut up for a second. It has sound. There you go.
Says the guy who doesn't know how to shut up himself.
Is at the center of most of the world's.
Come on.
He's trying to convince himself there is no God. That's what I see.
I think he's pretty certain. Just for reference, somebody asked me who flew Jeff Bezos, and I did have to look it up. It was a guy called Wally Funk. He was 82, spent all his life as an aviator, a lot of flight training, astronaut training. He actually had been the chief pilot for 5 aviation schools. He'd soloed more than 700 students and 3,000 aeroplanes. It wasn't Jeff Bezos at the wheel when he went up. It was an incredibly experienced pilot and astronaut. So just FYI.
Okay. Can I say one thing about the video that I just played? Because obviously that is false. Because God does exist. Because
you're a theist.
There's no way. No, hold on. There's no way on Earth that we have Jay Patrick here, and he has shut up for this entire time. This is physically impossible. It's either not Jay Patrick or God doesn't.
Wow.
Second Peter.
So this is awesome. We had Praise deconvert and Peter convert in the same stream.
This is a terrible echo.
Does David?
I'm not on my headset. It's Mike on the computer.
Well, I think you have a bullhorn.
Oh, you did? Yay! Oh, okay. So God doesn't exist. Okay. Confirmed.
Hey,
second bullhorn up his ass. Come on, Jay, you gotta pull it out, buddy.
If I can just respond to that video, Second Peter, you realize sharing that video actually makes the Bible more true, because the Bible specifically in multiple places directly talks about people just like that they come in the name of God or Christ, or they have some form of godliness, but they deny the power thereof. Okay. And Praise, do you mind sharing my screen again?
In fairness, though, Rebel, every religion says
Peter's
that.
done it like.
Yeah, I didn't find that too convincing, Peter, but that was a good try, though.
Yeah, that's okay. And I have to correct you, because according to the good book, and I'll show you right now. Let me scroll to the end. I'm not second Peter, I'm first Peter. It says there right on the book.
First Peter. Oh wait, let me do it. Hold on.
He's little Peter.
Here we go.
No, praise make me full screen. Show people that it says 1 Peter.
Yeah, no, we saw. Yeah, you're First Peter. You're First Peter, dude. You're First Peter. I know. We know. Sorry, it was an honest mistake by me. The Asian, the Asian kid is Second Peter.
I'm Big Peter. The other one's Little Peter.
Yes, he's Little Peter.
We established that a while ago.
Third Peter. Yes, we'll call him. We'll call him. How about this? We'll call him Last Peter. Okay. We'll call him Last Peter. All right.
Yeah.
You're first. You're first. Hey, Peter. You're first, and he's last. Okay. Right. So look,
Thanks.
This is how what you just shared doesn't make a very good case for you. Because watch this. 1 John 4:1. Beloved, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God. For many false prophets have gone onto the world. Okay. In 2 Corinthians. For such men
speaks against you.
Are false apostles, deceitful workmen, disguising themselves as apostles of Christ. And no wonder, for even Satan himself disguises as an angel of light. So it is no surprise his servants also disguise themselves as servants of righteousness. Their end will
hold on. Time out.
Beware of false
disguising themselves as disciples of Christ. I have never said that I'm a disciple of Christ.
Dude, I'm talking about the guy on the video that you shared, bro.
What, you're again
about the video you shared.
Again sharing verses
responding to the
that don't make you look good.
In the video
I'm just saying.
I'm not talking about you.
Don't share that.
You're just
share that.
You're a First Peter magician boy. Okay, that's all you are. Matthew 7.
Yeah, but I never said that I was. I never said that I was an apostle.
I'm not talking about
whereas you did. So stop sharing this because you're exposing yourself.
That old fart reverend on that little stupid TV show you.
No. That could just as well be you. We don't know. We don't know.
I think it was Rebel. I think it genuinely was Rebel in disguise.
I think Corinthians might be talking about you. Stop sharing the screen.
But false prophets also arose among the people.
You're not making yourself look good.
Yeah, see, this is how you know the Bible is true. Because when the Word of God is being read, the demonic spirits and atheists, they'll start to act up, and that's what you see in 1 Peter here. So, just as there will be false teachers among you.
See, and now I can prove you wrong because Jay is still silent.
Bringing upon themselves swift destruction. Okay?
So, it's wrong. Jay's still silent.
On and on. So you trying to share that little video about, oh look, this guy claims to be a reverend and he says God doesn't exist. Well, guess what? The Bible talks about him, and if people like him did not exist, these verses in the Bible would be there in vain. God knew that
just one quick question.
That's why these verses are in here.
Okay.
So therefore, sharing that video
one quick question
actually makes the Bible even more true. Thank you.
Okay, so hold on. So by your logic, showing that video of Buzz Aldrin proved that they went to the moon.
That wasn't my video, by the way.
By your logic. I'm not saying that it was your video. I'm saying by your logic, if we show a video of Buzz Aldrin saying that he never went to the moon, that confirms that he went to the moon.
Yeah, okay, you win again.
Logic.
Okay. I just got a question for Rebel. I got a question for Rebel.
I always win. That's why I'm First Peter.
I got a question for Rebel. So does that mean if you're because you're saying it makes it more true that it says there's false prophets and there's false prophets. So does that also mean that it makes the Quran more true, that it mentions false prophets and there's false prophets?
Good question.
You have to, if you really want to get down to it, there's more than just those verses. There's more than just these verses here that make the Bible true. It's the fact that it backs up history. Prophecies have been fulfilled in it. It's ethical, moral standards make sense for how to best live our lives, and it offers salvation. Unlike any other holy book, there's and especially for me, the cosmology in it also lines up with reality, right? So there's a bunch of things in there, and the fact that it has the most manuscripts than all other texts, and it's reliable, it's accurate. there's a bunch of things. It's not just these little verses here.
Well, yeah, no, I get that, but you did say it makes it more true that is the case, that it says there's false prophets and there's false prophets. So it does the same, because where I'm coming from is every religion sort of says this. There will be false prophets or heretics that talk to you in a certain way, or suppressors of the truth, and they all say the same thing. Does it make them more true that they say that? And if so, or if not, why does it make it more true for your religion and not for other religions?
Okay, look, it's been a while since I've seen this video here. Okay.
Well, I'm not really gonna, because I don't have a dog in the race here. I don't believe in Islam. I don't believe in Christianity. So, the whole point is, why does that thing make it more true? I'm not looking for you to demonstrate it, but I'm saying, are you consistently applying this premise of because it says there's false prophets to all religion or only your own? And if it's only your own, why only your own?
Look, there are a bunch of reasons why I have come to the conclusion, and it's both logically speaking and something you probably wouldn't understand as atheists, but spiritually speaking, I believe I have been given direct revelation by the Spirit of God that it is only the Bible and only the Bible that is truly the inspired Word of God. Okay, I have come to that.
No, I get that.
As of 2 years ago.
You know what? You're such a liar.
When I say stuff like this makes the Bible even more true, it's because I'm going off the basis. I already have the fundamental that the Bible is the only true Word of God. Okay?
Who let Darth in here?
Someone dropped the ball. I guess my problem, Rebel. I guess my problem, Rebel, is that from my perspective, right? I get your perspective. I really do. That you've got something you think is true and you think this makes it more true. I'm getting that. I understand. But I guess from my perspective, it's really difficult because both you and the Islamic people and the Hindus and the Scientologists and everybody's saying exactly the same thing. And so I've got no way to distinguish who is telling the truth and who isn't. Or who is right and who is wrong.
What we have here is a duplicitous, lying atheist.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Darth. Not.
Oh wait.
Okay. Fuck off, Mr. 30-year-old. You're done.
Excuse me. I'm 46.
He's
Thank
still
you.
mad at you. He's still mad at you, Praise.
He's still mad at you.
So look, Mark, if I can respond.
Yeah.
Like, not all religions or holy books are not the same. Conflating all religions,
I know that.
Conflating all holy books like to be just all under the same category, and one can be distinguished from the other as far as truth is concerned is not that fair, to be honest. Okay, because look, I've done my research about other religions, like this one here, for example. It's called the thumbnail says, "Are Catholicism and Islam connected?" Okay, and if you watch this video, it makes very strong parallels between the two. Okay, and it tells you about the true origins of Islam. So I have done my research to see why other religions can be deemed false.
Right now, you have spiritual rabies.
Yeah, no, I get that, Rebel, but the problem is they're saying the same, that their religion is right and yours is wrong. So so I want to sort of use an analogy here, that it's like you've got three people telling you all that something's behind a closed door and you don't know what it is, right? You've got no idea. And one person is saying, yes, it's this, another person saying, yes, it's that, another person saying no, and that all of them are wrong except me. There's no real way to distinguish who is right and who is wrong from my perspective, because I'm not starting with one of these being true. And you guys, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but apart from the details, you kind of all say the same thing.
Okay.
Actually,
Mark,
that's not so bad.
Okay, Mark, that's fine. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But also, you also have a really, okay, I'm glad you did admit you have no dog in this fight.
Yeah, I don't.
you also have a very big problem because you don't even have the fundamental of believing in some kind of supernatural God creator in the first place. So if you haven't even taken that step, you can't even start to even delve into the details about which faith is true. Okay?
Why not?
Because you don't even have the fundamental.
Sounds like you're hinting at a precept there, buddy.
All right. So that's.
Yeah, that sounds a little pre-suppy to me.
Jefferson to take Darth
down. That does seem a little pre-suppy to me, Rebel.
Why are you acting like a snot-nosed 16-year-old?
Do you presuppose the necessity of God for a coherent thought, like be able to use logic and things like that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because our ability to have rational thought and logical reasoning didn't come from something that didn't have that in the first place.
Okay, can you demonstrate that?
Demonstrate it? What do you mean? That's where the logic comes in. You can come to that deductive conclusion because that's just what makes sense. Because any other ulterior option isn't logical. That's entirely my point.
Well, how am I
I'm not going to believe in God anymore.
Logical? I don't understand. I mean, I basically start with a couple of presuppositions. So the sort of logical absolutes and the basis of logic, right? Are you willing to grant me that presupposition or not?
That logic comes from logic?
Well, that logic exists and we can use it to, logically think about the world.
Like for example, I recently I somehow came up with this analogy, like when people were having chats with Rebecca from Bread of Life and stuff.
Yeah.
I said there was an atheist on there. His name is Nidimos or Niddy for short.
Yeah.
I asked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked him why would you think that a simple teddy bear was designed and created by a human, even though you didn't see like the person actually make it. You have logically you have used either inductive or deductive reasoning to know that that teddy bear was indeed designed and created by a human being, right?
Yeah, well, the tag on it with "Made in China" is a bit of a dead giveaway, but yeah.
Okay, but say someone cut off the tag, okay? Right? Someone cut off the tag. You see it sitting there.
Yep.
You can conclude that it was made by the human being, as opposed to it being made by, like, say, a rabbit or an alligator.
So as you said, it's inductive reasoning. You basically say, well, I'm familiar with teddy bears. I know that teddy bears are created, in sweatshops in China kind of thing. I know they're stitched together and they have things in front of them because I am familiar with teddy bears. I think I would put it to you that if I had never experienced anything like a teddy bear and I'd never encountered a teddy bear, and I didn't know anything about the manufacture of teddy bears or any kind of plush animals at all, if I saw a teddy bear under those circumstances, I may not know whether it's created or not because I had no experience whatsoever of something that is called a teddy bear.
Okay, I mean, okay, that's a nice hypothetical situation, but the reality is, we live in a world where things have been designed, and that's the kind of what we have to work with.
We're seeing this uniform. Is that what you're saying? It's more like.
Well, I don't see the design.
The problem in your example is that all the things that you can come up with, we know have been designed because we know who designed them 9 out of 10 times. Okay. And we can go look at how they are designed. We can go look at the factories.
What do you mean by who?
What do you mean by who?
So do you mean like a name? Yeah. So do you mean a name is what makes someone a person? Like, what does that mean? Like, I don't think you.
I know praise. I'm an old fart, and I'm 60. But I've actually seen people create a teddy bear.
Right. Okay. What I'm asking is, what is a person to you? Like, what constitutes a person?
A human being.
Which is. So you just like skin and bones? Is that how you define?
A human being is basically an evolved ape, a Homo sapiens sapiens. That's a human being. That's how we classify human beings.
Well, that's not where I'm driving at. Like, if you, it's like you, Peter. If let's say, if I cut your arm off or another limb of yours, would you still be Peter?
There you go again. You really hate me, right? I mean, I'm just here. I'm being friendly. I haven't interrupted people for a long time, and now I'm quiet. And now you want to cut my arm off? What did I ever do to you, Praise? Come on.
Should we start a list?
At least I'm not like Gizmo that'll cut your head off. I mean, good gosh.
Actually,
go ahead. Make your point.
That's not my problem with it. My problem is that you're basically saying, look at this teddy bear, it's a thing that's been designed, and we sort of say that's designed as opposed to things that occur naturally. So can you tell me about something that, or name something that has occurred naturally?
Wait. Yeah, better yet, can you name something that was not designed?
Yeah, not designed.
So we can contrast that against something that is designed and see what makes the difference.
Sorry?
Shannon information.
Shannon information is not designed.
Yes.
So God had nothing to do with Shannon information. God had no influence on it whatsoever.
Well, in not the direct, it'd be indirectly, yes, but not like directly, no.
So that's something that didn't come from God?
Not directly, no.
Wow. Okay. So something exists in the universe. Just a sec, Peter, just a second. So something exists.
They made directly and indirect.
Hang on. Something exists in the universe that was not created by God. Is that what you're saying?
No. No, what I'm saying, God created the material ex nihilo, but everything inside within that material creation, things can do. God allows things to happen and. Systems to work itself out with biodiversity, and animals can reproduce and things like that. Yeah.
Did you just confirm evolution is a fact?
Well, I mean, yeah, we all believe in evolution.
Praise. I'm starting to like you. I'm starting to like you, Praise.
Yeah. So that's basically saying, well, if you extend that logically, that's basically saying, well, he just created the substance of the universe, and it's all naturalistic from there.
Yeah, this is a natural universe. Yeah, I mean, we don't see angels and like zooming to the sky, and like we can't jump to the moon. Like, there's no anything supernatural. Everything's natural, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, just to finish my question that I asked, I start off by saying, why would you believe a teddy bear is designed and created? And then right after that, I gave him the equivalent of which a teddy bear is based off of, like the idea to create in the first place, which is a real bear itself. And a real bear out in the wild is much more complex, much more powerful, has much more of a demanding
let me finish.
and impressive in all ways than a teddy bear, a little stuffed teddy bear you can cuddle up to in your bed, will be ever. Okay.
As opposed to what?
Why would you have the logic to say a teddy bear is designed and created, but something much more complex and impressive, like an actual bear that can
a real bear. Yep. Much more complex. Yep.
To feed on salmon, going upstream, and it can run 40 miles an hour and tear you to pieces.
We get it. A real bear.
Your point, but what?
Yeah.
What
so let me, Peter. Seriously, man, let me talk to Rebel. Let me talk to him.
Okay.
Go ahead, Rebel. A real bear is much more complex than a teddy bear. I grant you that. Absolutely.
So why would you say that?
Right.
Is a result of a random, mindless accident.
Because you just outlined that God created everything and then it was naturalistic.
What do you mean by naturalistic?
That God created everything, but other things, complex things, can form out of naturalistic processes. Because Praise just said. Praise just said God created all of the material. Look, I was very specific, and if you want to sort of backtrack it, you said God creates all the material, and then it's all naturalistic processes.
No, I don't. Wait, what? No, I don't believe that.
No, that was Praise who said that.
Yeah,
that was
Praise.
him.
Said that there's indirect. He allows things to be indirectly processed, like indirect processes.
Sure.
Yeah,
which indirect
is,
process.
Mark, let me quickly interrupt. Which is why it is important to figure out if we can have something that is not designed, and he can then explain the difference between something that is designed and something that is not designed. What would something that is not designed look like? Can you give an example of something that isn't designed?
Here you go. 9.
Yeah, go ahead. I'd like to hear it. I have an answer for that, I think, but I want to hear it.
Okay.
9 successful inventions made by accident. Implantable pacemaker, the Slinky, Post-it notes, Play-Doh, chocolate chip cookies, Velcro.
They were all designed.
They were all designed.
They were all designed for a different purpose, but they were all designed.
They were.
Can you name something that is not designed?
What was the original design?
A Slinky was designed, and it was faulty, and it worked as a toy, but it didn't work for the thing it was designed for.
Yeah, and Post-it notes.
It was designed. Humans made Slinkies. I hate to break it to you.
Okay.
Humans didn't make Slinkies.
And I want to mention Post-it notes. Just a second, Rebel. I want to mention Post-it notes because the guy who made them was actually trying to develop a glue that was really sticky and wouldn't come away. And he failed completely, and he actually made a glue that came away. But he still designed it. He still went, oh, I'm going to put the glue on here, and it's going to stick to this. And then, you know, it just didn't work as he expected.
Okay, that's fine. But so guess what? You guys may not like the answer then. Then it just very well may be that a fundamental, I don't know if you want to call it law, but a fundamental aspect to the reality of which we live in is the fact that everything that we know about is designed. We cannot give you an example where it's not. It just happens to be a fundamental part of reality. It's like saying why is grass green? It's like why can't it be blue? It's like that. It just
I agree with you there. Hold on, I agree with you there. But if you say everything is designed, then how did you determine that something is designed? What is being designed opposite to something that is not designed?
There is no opposite compared to praise. Yeah.
What makes something? What I'm asking is, and this might be a language barrier because I'm Dutch, so bear with me. What makes something designed?
Specification.
Purpose, function, especially if it has beauty to it.
Function, specification.
What's the purpose of a rock?
It doesn't have any specified.
Correct.
Ground.
What's the specification? What's the specification of a rock?
Specification? It's mineral. There's different kinds of rocks. You have lava rock. Like there's a bunch of different types we learned in school.
That would be igneous.
That's what they're made up of. But what's the specification? What's the goal? Why did someone design a rock? For what purpose?
Okay,
the rock designed?
Think about that for a second. I've just got to... Rebel, please, just a second. I've just got to go. I'm really sorry. It was great hanging out with you guys. Fantastic. Peter, always a pleasure. I got to send you a Discord message, mate, and we got to catch up sometime as well.
Yeah, you have to. We need to catch up and get things rolling.
Yeah, thanks.
Mark, man, thanks for coming in, man. I hope
no worries, Praise. Yeah, all right, and good to meet you, Rebel. And I don't even remember if you're first or second, Peter. To be honest with you, I think you're second, Peter. But yeah, all right, all the best.
I think, in all honesty, he was first, and I came later.
I think so.
I checked.
I think so, but you know, who knows? All right, see you guys later. Do have a great time.
Take care, man.
Later, Mark.